Hello, fellow educators. Picture this. You're teaching a lesson on fractions, and instead of waiting until the test to discover that half your students are confused, you know instantly who's struggling and can help them right away. Or imagine students creating digital portfolios that showcase their growth journey, not just their final grades. This isn't wishful thinking. It's happening in classrooms worldwide through strategic use of formative and summative assessment. Today, I want to share 3 game-changing insights with you. What these assessment types really mean in practice, why they're absolutely essential for student success, and which specific digital tools can transform your assessment approach starting tomorrow. Let's dive in together. Formative assessment, your learning GPS. Think of formative assessment as having a conversation with your students' minds while they're learning. It's like being a learning detective, constantly gathering clues about student understanding so you can adjust your teaching in real time. Here's what makes formative assessment special. Formative assessments are employed while learning is ongoing to monitor student progress in course learning objectives. But let me put this in human terms. Imagine you're teaching someone to drive. You wouldn't wait until they take their driving test to give them feedback, right? You'd guide them through each turn, each parking attempt, each traffic situation. That's formative assessment in action. It's immediate and helpful. Like a friend pointing out that your shirt is inside out before you walk into an important meeting. Low pressure. Students feel safe to show their thinking because they're not being judged, just guided. Adaptive. You can change your teaching approach based on what you discover. Empowering. Students become partners in monitoring their own learning journey. Quick check-in. Before we move forward, let's pause for a moment. Which statement best captures the essence of formative assessment? A. A final exam that determines student grades. B. Ongoing feedback during learning to guide instruction and student understanding. C. A standardized test administered once per year. D. Only digital quizzes and polls. Take a moment to think. The answer is B. Formative assessment is all about that ongoing dialogue between teaching and learning. Summative assessment, celebrating the journey's end. Now, summative assessment is different. It's like the graduation ceremony after months of preparation. The goal of summative assessment is to evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional unit by comparing it against some standard or benchmark. If I continue with our driving analogy, summative assessment is the actual driving test. The moment when we step back and say, okay, let's see what you've mastered. Summative assessment is characterized by high stakes. These results often significantly impact grades and advancement. Comprehensive coverage. It looks at the big picture of what students have learned product-focused. It evaluates the final outcome, not just the process standards-based. It measures achievement against predetermined benchmarks. Let's check our understanding. Here's a scenario. A teacher uses a digital tool to get instant feedback during a math lesson about which students understand long division. Is this formative or summative assessment? A. Formative, because it's happening during learning to guide instruction. B. Summative, because it involves a math skill. C. Both formative and summative. D. Neither. It's just a teaching strategy. The answer is A. This is classic formative assessment because it's happening during the learning process to provide immediate guidance. The science behind assessment impact. Here's something that might surprise you. Meta-analysis of studies into formative assessment have indicated significant learning gains where formative assessment is used, across all content areas, knowledge and skill types, and levels of education. In fact, research shows that formative assessments produce more powerful effects on student learning than summative ones. Let me tell you why this matters in real classrooms. How formative assessment transforms learning, creating learning acceleration zones. When students get immediate feedback, magic happens. Instead of practicing mistakes for weeks, they catch and correct misunderstandings immediately. I've watched students go from frustrated to confident in single lessons when they received real-time guidance. Building student self-awareness. By measuring student understanding throughout a course, formative assessments enable students to reflect on how they can improve their own learning. Students start asking themselves, how am I learning best? What strategies work for me? They become learning strategists, not just passive recipients of information, creating engagement through safety. When assessment feels like exploration rather than examination, students take intellectual risks. They're willing to share their thinking, ask questions, and engage deeply because they know feedback is meant to help, not judge. How summative assessment drives goal achievement. But don't think summative assessment is less important. It serves crucial functions, providing learning validation. Students need to know they've truly mastered something. Summative assessment means looking back and taking stock of how well students have fulfilled goals. This validation builds confidence and provides closure, creating meaningful targets. When students know there's a comprehensive assessment coming, they approach learning with greater intentionality. It's like training for a marathon. The race gives meaning to all the preparation, supporting life transitions. In our educational systems, summative assessments provide the credentials students need for their next steps, whether that's advancing to the next grade, graduating, or entering their chosen careers. Quick reality check. Based on what we've discussed, which statement is most accurate? A. Formative assessment is more important than summative assessment. B. Summative assessment is more important than formative assessment. C. Both types work together to create comprehensive learning support. D. Only one type should be used in modern classrooms. The answer is C. They work together like dance partners, each serving essential but different functions. Your digital toolkit for assessment success. Now for the practical part, let's explore specific digital tools that can transform your assessment practice starting today. Formative assessment tools, your real-time learning dashboard. We've compiled an extensive list of 75 digital tools that can help teachers use formative assessment to elicit evidence of student learning. Here are the game changers. Real-time response systems. Kahoot. Live quiz games that let students use computers, cell phones, or other devices to join the game. I've seen shy students become enthusiastic participants when learning feels like play. Poll everywhere. Polls and discussions that foster active learning and enhance student engagement. Perfect for getting every voice heard, not just the confident few. Mentimeter creates word clouds and instant polls that show you the collective thinking of your entire class at once. Adaptive learning platforms. Formative helps teachers unlock additional superpowers, improve student engagement, and accelerate learning with real-time student responses. It's like having a teaching assistant that never sleeps. Nearpod transforms your presentations into interactive experiences where students actively participate rather than passively consume. Pear Deck ensures every student participates in every slide, creating genuine engagement rather than hoping for voluntary participation. Quick and easy tools. Google Forms, easy-to-use exit tickets that give you an easy way to access student responses anywhere, anytime. Perfect for those "how are we doing?" check-ins. Padlet creates collaborative spaces where students share ideas and provide peer feedback in real time. Summative assessment tools, comprehensive evaluation made simple. Secure testing platforms. ExamSoft provides secure exam delivery with detailed analytics that help you understand not just what students know, but how they think. Canvas offers comprehensive gradebook functionality with SpeedGrader for efficient, meaningful feedback. Google Classroom integrates assignment management with detailed rubric systems for transparent evaluation. Portfolio-based assessment. Seesaw enables students to create digital portfolios that showcase growth over time rather than just final products. Google Sites allows students to build websites demonstrating their learning journey, perfect for project-based assessment. Analytics and insights. Brightspace Analytics provides learning data analysis for comprehensive evaluation and program improvement. Microsoft Education Insights offers advanced dashboard reporting that helps you see patterns across classes and students. Tool Selection Challenge. You want to check student understanding during a science lesson about photosynthesis. Which tool would be best for immediate feedback? A. A digital portfolio platform like Seesaw. B. A comprehensive testing platform like ExamSoft. C. A real-time response system like Kahoot, or Poll Everywhere. D. An analytics dashboard. The answer is C. Real-time response systems are perfect for immediate formative feedback during lessons. Bringing it all together, your next steps. Here's what the research tells us. Formative assessment can double student learning gains, and digital tools can amplify these effects dramatically. The secret isn't choosing between formative and summative assessment, it's integrating both strategically. Use formative assessment to guide learning in real time, and summative assessment to validate achievement and celebrate growth. Start small. Pick one formative assessment tool from today's list and try it this week. Notice how it changes the dynamic in your classroom. Then gradually build your assessment toolkit, always keeping student learning at the center of your decisions. The future of education isn't about replacing human connection with technology. It's about using technology to create more meaningful, responsive, and effective human connections in service of learning. Your students are waiting for these powerful assessment experiences. The tools are available. The research supports the approach. The only question left is, which tool will you try first?